We begin tonight at 5 o'clock with safety in Portland and the struggle to curb the violence. You're looking live at the waterfront on a sunny, pleasant, and calm day, but too often this year that calm has turned to chaos on the streets, and the city is searching for solutions. Thank you for joining us on this Wednesday. I'm Laurel Porter. This week, Portland leaders are taking new action to try to reverse the trend, and that includes a new team to tackle shootings. More on that in just a moment. But first, let's go to Mike Benner. He joins us from City Hall with the latest attempt from City Council to address police staffing shortages. Mike?
Yeah, Laurel, today the City Council passed an emergency ordinance that allows the Portland Police Bureau to use $500,000 on hiring bonuses. Important to point out, this is what's called use it or lose it funding, and that means that whatever the Bureau does not use this fiscal year will have to be given back to the city. Needless to say, the Bureau will do everything in its power to use this $500,000 to beef up staffing, because some will say the Bureau is facing a staffing crisis. At last check, there were more than 100 sworn vacancies. Some of that's due to early retirements, a trend we're seeing not just here in the Rose City, but across the country. Now, the $500,000 approved by Portland City Council Wednesday morning will go towards hiring bonuses for both public safety support specialists and lateral officers coming over from other police agencies. These lateral officers are important because they can get up to speed and on the streets faster than a brand new officer. Listen.
My colleagues and I hear from constituents every day who are very frustrated by the shortage of officers available to respond to their calls for help. And frankly, we have an obligation to use every tool that we can to address this historic staffing shortage. This ordinance enhances our ability to attract candidates for both lateral officer positions as well as PS3 positions.
All right, and those public safety support specialists will be eligible for bonuses of up to $5,000, and those lateral officers eligible for bonuses of up to $25,000, some of which would have to be paid back if the officer quits within 5 years of being hired. Laurel?
Thank you, Mike. And that emergency ordinance comes on the heels of Safer Summer PDX. That's a new action plan from Mayor Ted Wheeler seeking to prevent and address gun violence. Alma McCarty has a closer look at the plan and how community advocates hope it will save lives.
So far, 2022 has proven to be another violent year for the city of Portland, with more than 645 shootings and 42 homicides, a majority of which were gun-related. This year's statistics are on pace with last year's numbers, despite the local efforts to put a stop to the violence.
Everybody that's from Portland should be sad, because we lost a lot of people. We got a cloud over us, and we need to be all in it together, focus on gun violence intervention on every level.
As the weather heats up, there's often a surge in gun violence in cities nationwide.
We don't want to be caught off guard here in the city of Portland, so we've already put a lot of planning and investments into the field to reduce gun violence this summer.
Tuesday, Mayor Ted Wheeler announced a team of violence prevention experts to lead a coordinated effort called Safer Summer PDX.
And their goal is to work as our ceasefire team to help develop concrete, immediate strategies here in the city of Portland to start reducing the gun violence that we're seeing on our street.
Community activists already involved in gun violence prevention say they're hopeful this plan will make a difference.
We are dealing with something that is very difficult.
Like Dr. KGW Matt Hennessy, pastor of Vancouver Avenue First Baptist Church.
I am one who believes that this issue is not resolved by any one thing. I think it's resolved by a number of things coming together.
Lionel Irving, gang veteran and CEO of Love is Stronger, tells me he fully supports the mayor's plan.
Anything that we can do, any move that we can make as a team to stifle gun violence, then I'm all for it.
And hopes this new team will work with community organizations like his to curb gun violence.
We're trying to save these guys. We don't want nobody to go to prison. We don't want nobody, we don't have no more funerals. We want to celebrate wins. We want to celebrate graduations, childbirths, and those type of things. And so that's what we're fighting for, is to save these young men and to make them aware of the trauma and the effects of their actions that have on our whole community.
Alma McCarty, KGW News.
We have a missing child alert for you tonight. People are urged to be on the lookout for 15-year-old Phoenix Cannon. She is a child in foster care who went missing from Troutdale on May 9th. Officials believe she's in danger. She's 5'9" with brown hair and brown eyes. She's suspected to be in Portland, Gresham, or Troutdale. Officials add she's been known to spend time at parks, downtown Portland, and at homeless camps. If you see her, you're urged to call 911 or contact police. An update now on staffing shortages and union negotiations at TriMet. TriMet and leaders at the union representing transit workers are proposing extending their current contract. It's set to end this November. Under the tentative agreement, it would extend through 2024, but with new raises included. That will be a 7.5% increase this December and another raise of 4% in December of 2023. Union members first have to vote to approve it. This comes as TriMet deals with historic staff shortages. It's resulted in bus lines being cut and delays on MAX trains. COVID-19 in Oregon has been worse this month than predicted, with the latest surge lasting longer and doing more damage than they thought. Tim Gordon's here, and Tim, you reported on that prediction nearly a month ago.
Yeah, Laurel, I did. And at that time, the prediction was that this latest surge would peak mid-June, but that did not happen. In fact, since June 14th, when we had 290 COVID patients hospitalized, Oregon has been up and down, but mostly climbing. In the past 3 days, a mini spike has taken us from 357 hospitalized to 399 to 402 reported today. Cases have been climbing too, for the most part. But the good news is deaths are nothing like we saw with the Delta variant. Now in Washington, people are experiencing a similar surge, a little less severe lately than Oregon, being pushed by BA2 and other subvariants of Omicron.
From a clinical perspective, we're not seeing huge differences in disease. What we have noticed and are dealing with is that each of these subvariants are more transmissible.
So less very serious illness, but lots of transmission. And health experts say the best defense continues to be vaccinations and boosters if you're eligible, along with other safety measures. Stay home if you're sick, test, mask if you need to. And by the way, OHSU's expert will have a new COVID forecast out on Friday. He's been quite accurate, but Laurel, June proves there's no guarantee. We'll be looking forward to what he has to say about July in just a couple days.
There's really been no guarantees with COVID, have there, over the last couple of years? Thank you, Tim. The increase in the cost of food is having a big impact on a Vancouver food pantry. It's asking for help from the community to feed an influx of new people seeking assistance. Our Brian Clerkley was there this morning when they were handing out food. Brian, they serve thousands of people.
Yes, Laurel, and the numbers keep rising. The food pantry is called Fish of Vancouver, which stands for Friends in Service to Humanity. The organization relies mostly on community donations. The executive director says summer is a slow time for donations. They're trying to keep up with all the need, which is mostly working people that have trouble making ends meet. Anyone in need can use the food pantry. They can get anything from dairy products to fresh produce and bread and canned goods. As food prices rise, so do the amount of people that need the services.
Back in February, we were doing about 1,200 families, and every month since we've been adding a couple hundred families. We're up to 1,892 families in May. We haven't completed June yet.
The food pantry is open from 10 to 2 Monday through Friday and once a month on Saturdays. And people can donate money or food. The easiest way is to go to the organization's website, or you can drop food off at their location in Vancouver on Harney Street. I'll have a link posted on our website, kgw.com. Laurel.
Thank you, Brian.